Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about a new thing that I see happening right now. It might be old to others, but what I'm seeing in my trend right now with my clients is people wanting to do their formal pictures before the ceremony. So we're going to talk about that now. Hey everyone, welcome back. So with as many weddings as I do, traditionally weddings, formal pictures happen after the ceremony. So regardless of what time the ceremony is, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 or 5, I don't see many wedding ceremonies after 6 o'clock. I'm noticing a lot more people are doing and asking, at least inquiring, hey, can we do formal pictures before the ceremony? My question is always, why? Traditionally, I have no problem with it, but I'm finding a lot more of these people want to be with their guests at the cocktail hour. I think that's an amazing idea, and I think that's something that I want to talk about and address, that if you're a wedding couple and or a photographer or a DJ and you're seeing this, what are you seeing? Are you finding a lot of people are starting to do a little bit more of untraditional stuff and kind of breaking things up a little bit when it comes to how an official itinerary happens? Let me start by saying this. If you're a wedding couple, welcome. Let me just start by saying this. You are entitled to do whatever you want to do. There's nothing else that can be said about that, because it is very important that a wedding couple utilizes the 8 hours of time however they want. I just had a couple call me up and ask me, we're going over their itinerary, and they asked what would be more beneficial. So I said, do you have any intentions on being at the cocktail hour? And they were like, yeah, well, we wanted to, but if we get done with the pictures in time, we'd like to be there. There's no, with a wedding party of bride plus 5, groom plus 5, there is no, hopefully I get to the cocktail hour. You're going to need all of that time for bridal portraits with the bride and groom, wedding couple, and pictures with the all of the guys, all of the girls, all of the wedding party together, parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, anybody that you want to have photographed inside of their kids, anything like that. You've got 60 minutes to do that. So I made the suggestion of, hey, if you do that before the ceremony, you will be able to go to your cocktail hour. Because what I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to avoid go around to each tables during the reception. I get that. Back in the day, there used to be what's called a receiving line. So when the receiving line ceremony was done, the bride and groom and the wedding party would line up at the end of the aisle, outside the church, outside the property, anything like that. And then everybody from inside would walk by and go by and shake hands and give congratulations and things like that. And you add a lot of time. You could add almost 45 minutes to a time frame if you're doing a receiving line. So option number 2 is you go around to each one of the tables during the reception and say thank you for coming to the day. Option number 3 is doing like a table dash. So the bride and groom go around to each one of the tables and take pictures in front of, with that table playing a certain song, or sometimes bride and groom sit down and then the wedding couple, all of the tables come up, each one, 2, 3, 4, stands up behind the couple sitting in the middle of the dance floor, click, 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 and then they're free to go. So being present during the cocktail hour gives you a lot of different benefits. So I'm going to talk about a few of them, and I might not remember them all. Benefit number 1, the pressure and the fun starts. Ceremony's over, the kiss is over, the aisle, everybody looking at you is all over. Now it's a matter of having fun, dancing, eating, partying, whatever your vibe is. So the benefit of being part of the cocktail hour is you get to walk around with your guests and mingle with your guests during the cocktail hour and have hors d'oeuvres, crackers, cheese, grapes, shrimp, whatever your hors d'oeuvres are, and you can have some of that instead of not. The drawback, there is a little bit of a drawback, and I explained this to the person, that when you have a 8-hour package, the second you add, now if you're driving from one place, if you're getting ready at a house, then driving 30 minutes to get to the ceremony, and then you're driving 30 minutes to get to your formal pictures, that eats time. So I want to talk to you guys about eating time. Be careful and cautious of your time. If you are getting ready at a house, hair and makeup, then you're getting to the venue, so you're driving 30 minutes to get to the venue, and then you're getting dressed and getting into your dress and then doing your bridesmaids, around you kind of pictures like that. And then ceremony happens and you're there for the rest of the night. You're only eating a half an hour of that time when it comes to that. I've done weddings where I drove from one place, did the getting ready from the house, did the pictures there, drove 30 minutes to the church, did the ceremony at the church. Church was done. They were going to another place 45 minutes away to do a park. Did all the pictures there. Then they were driving 30 minutes back to where the reception was going to be. So 30, 45, 15, that's an hour and 15 minutes of your 8 hours eaten by driving. So long story short, there is a benefit to having your formal pictures done just before the ceremony because you will be able to be participant to the cocktail hour. The drawback, it eats time. So being perfectly honest and transparent with my wedding couples is if you have a 4 p.m. ceremony, okay, you want to be done with your ceremony by you want to be done with your formal pictures by 3:30 p.m. You want 30 minutes in between for people to regroup, refresh, rehydrate, hit the bathroom, freshen up, mascara, makeup, bathroom, anything like that. You want 30 solid minutes to just do that. So you want to be done by 3:30. So if you've got a full wedding party, parents and grandparents and wedding party and so on and so forth, you want to start at 2:30. So 2:30 to 3:30 will be your formal pictures. 4 o'clock to 4:30 will be your ceremony. Then 4:30 to 5:30 will be your cocktail hour, which you will be able to participate at. Now, by doing your formal pictures first, if you decide you want now, if you've never seen each other, are you doing a first look? Or is he just going to see you for the first time? Well, you can't do your formal pictures before your ceremony if you want him to see you for the first time coming down the aisle. So now you got to do a first look up here. So now you're doing a first look from 2 to 2:30. Usually takes me I don't rush it. Usually it takes me about 15, 20 minutes. I go in, get the shots that I need. I instruct them very, very little. Tap them on the shoulder, turn around. Are you going to do vows at the same time? Click, click, click. I walk away. I come back in about 10 minutes and they're just talking amongst themselves and getting that energy out. So now you're doing 2 to 2:30 for the first look. 2:30 to 3:30 for the formal pictures, 4 to 4:30, and then so on and so forth. Well, now you haven't even done the getting ready pictures yet, which is hair and makeup, dress, bridal party, all those things that happen inside of there, makeup shots, hair shots, hairspray shots. I allow an hour and a half. So now all of a sudden, watch this itinerary really quick. 12:30, I'm starting my getting ready pictures with the girls. 12:30 to 1:30 is, and then getting into the dress by 2 o'clock. So I've got an hour and a half for getting ready pictures. So 12:30 to 2:30 to 2 o'clock is getting ready pictures. 2 to 2:30 is first look. 2:30 to 3:30 is formals with bridal party, wedding party, and parents and grandparents. Half an hour break. 4 to 4:30 is your ceremony. 4:30 to 5:30 is your cocktail hour, so now you get to be part of that. So now when you go through an 8-hour day, I started at 12:30, your time frame ends at 8:30. So now, what happened was they're eating at 6 o'clock, first dance, intros, little things like that, doing a toast and things like that. So you're eating at 6 o'clock. About an hour to an hour and 15 minutes for sit-down meals and about 45 minutes to an hour for buffet table. And then from there, you look at how much time you've got left. So 6 to 7 o'clock, you want to cut the cake at 7:15, get that ready for dessert. Your dance floor opens up because, at 7:15, you have to do father-daughter, mother-son, any anniversary dances or anything like that. Let's say the dance floor opens up at 7:30. I'm leaving at 8:30, you've only got an hour's worth of dancing photos. The prime dancing photos happens as more alcohol happens, as the lights dim and things like that. So you'll have better results with more people on the dance floor. So there's a time sometimes where you only have 30 minutes of dancing. So I have to express to my wedding couple like, hey, because you want to do cocktail hour, you have to do this and this earlier, which eats up your time. Okay? If you did everything during the regular time, I'd be there till 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then everything's all set. So just know that if you do that stuff first traditionally because you want to be with the cocktail hour, you're going to sacrifice a portion of your 8 hours being absorbed, and you'll have less of the dancing photos later on at the end of the night. So before you say, well, that's okay, people get really crazy and stupid, I don't want those pictures anyways, I'm going to put something on the table here real quick. Those are the pictures of the guests that you invited. Why not have them being photographed because they're very happy people, or they like to party, or they like to dance or whatever and stuff like that? They start playing those songs and the DJ gets them on the floor, and you're like, this whole floor's got 75 people just doing electric slide or whatever dance that they're doing, and they're going back and forth, and photographer's like, hey, I'm leaving at 8:30 and the dance floor is full, and he's got 7 more songs that are going to keep him on the dance floor. The time frame is done. So now option number 1 is whatever you get till 8:30 is what you get, and then anything that happens after that does not get photographed by professional, because there is a difference between cell phone pictures and photo booth pictures and cell phone pictures. So with that being said, now you have to say, okay, do I add an hour to my package to keep the photographer there till 9:30 so I get a lot more dancing photos of my friends and family and me dancing on the dance floor? So if you want to be part of the cocktail hour, let's just sum this up real quick. If you want to be part of the cocktail hour, then you're going to have to sacrifice using more time of your 8-hour package in the beginning. If you use more time in the beginning, you will sacrifice some of the time at the end. So if you're okay with not many reception photos, or add 1 hour. So the option will be yours, but traditionally a lot of people now are starting to want to do their pictures sooner, which I don't disagree with. I have no problem with. I'm perfectly fine with whatever you want to do. You just let me know, here's option number 1, here's option number 2. If you go with that number 2 and you want to extend by an hour, here's my rate. We're all set to go. Everybody's happy, and you still get to get your whole day captured start to finish. So looking at doing your formal pictures prior to your ceremony, I think it's a great idea if you understand that you're going to sacrifice a little bit of time because you want to be at the cocktail hour. If you don't want to be at the cocktail hour, you can always go back afterwards and go around to each one of the tables with your guests and thank them coming there. So there's no right way, there's no wrong way. Just make it your way. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for coming back to the channel. This was a discussion about when you should do your formal pictures and knowing and understanding the sacrifices that come along with that. Should you do this? Should you do that? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing a first look? Doing the getting ready pictures and so on and so forth. But once you sit down with your photographer and DJ and you start going through the itinerary, just realize by doing formals first, you bump up the first look, you bump up the getting ready photos, which means now you have less time during the night. If you go back to the other way, you have enough time for everything. So you just got to figure out what's best fits you, and it's your day. You do whatever you want to do. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Remember to hit that like button and the subscribe button. Greatly appreciated. And I've got a few more videos lined up with a few things coming up with some really not controversial, but really some hot trends that are coming up. If you don't know what an Irish exit is, Google it. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. Remember to smile more because it sure does hurt less. Peace.